Morning, Corwin. Good
Good
morning.
morning. How you doing, Allison?
I'm hanging in there. How are you?
Same here, hanging in there. Real estate, you know how real estate is. It's got you always on the fritz, because there's so much
Yeah.
stuff going on. Yeah.
I'm gonna spare you my morning look. I'm getting ready to go for a run here in a minute.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's quite all right. Well, I'm glad you're able to get out and run.
I
Where do you,
have to.
where do you, yeah, same here. I just do my elliptical, but where do you run at? Or just in the neighborhood?
I do, and then I have a gym I go to as well. But right now, it's just like even just a quick 20 minutes or a half an hour. I have to like gather my thoughts for the day and prioritize
Mm-hmm.
to get done.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
But
Yep.
I've got 4 kids, and my 2 older ones go to school now, so I
Okay.
usually get my run in before the day. But now I got
Mm-hmm.
after I get them dropped off. So
Understand. Are you are in the New York area, right?
no, I live in North Carolina.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
I live in Wake Forest, like right outside of
Oh,
Raleigh.
yeah. Okay.
So
I didn't realize that. Okay.
yeah. Um, I made you the host.
Okay. So that just means I can, pull up my PowerPoint and then start presenting. Is that how that works?
Correct. You
I
can.
know I've done this before, but it's just like, okay, I don't actually, well, I don't use Zoom that much. I use something else, but it's just still work the same. So,
Yeah, they're all pretty user friendly with the icons and the buttons and everything. But
oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Allison.
I was gonna say, if you screen share, you should be.
Right, that's what it is.
Yeah.
Yep, that's what I was looking for.
Yep.
Let's see. Oh my God, I got so much stuff open. I'm like, where would I? What? Oh my goodness, what is that?
And then
Okay.
what you
Hmm.
can do as well is I'm gonna
Oh, okay. Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm
Go ahead.
gonna
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, that's okay. I'm gonna hang on and make sure that everybody gets admitted
Hmm.
because there's a wait room. Um, when you're ready to go, I'll start letting people in.
Okay. So can you see my screen?
I can.
Okay. All right. Good. All right. And so when I go into presentation and still see it good.
Yep.
Okay. Okay. All right. Good.
Yeah, and that appears as like my full computer screen when you
Oh,
do.
okay. Cool.
And then you're like in a small little box up in the right-hand corner.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the way I see it on my end too. Okay. Got you. All right. I guess this was not too unfriendly since we are talking about technology, right?
Right.
It's so funny. I've been in meetings where people the technology is not in the description, but we're talking about like like really sometimes very high advanced stuff in cloud computing or something like that. And he said, oh, and the guy, the presenter's like, oh, I can't get my computer to work. Da, da, da. And everyone started laughing. He's like, wait a minute,
Yeah.
aren't we the technology experts around here?
Right. You're the last ones to hear about computer issues from.
But most engineers, or at least computer engineers, computer scientists, I shouldn't say most, but a lot, they don't deal with, and myself included, we don't deal with IT. IT is something separate. We like, oh, no, I don't want to deal with no IT because
Yeah.
that's a headache.
Yeah. It's a totally different
Yeah,
field. I can appreciate.
yeah, yeah. So it's like somebody think, well, just because I'm a computer scientist in my other life, they're like, oh, can you fix my laptop? You fix my computer? Da, da, da. I'm like, no, I can barely fix mine. Yeah, so
All right.
interesting. All right, I got a few more things I need to do. I think Jamie's going to dial. He said about a quarter till. And
Yeah, I was gonna
so,
say I'll just mute and kind of get back to work on my other computer here, and then in the
okay.
meantime, I'll just keep an eye on things, and when you guys are ready and set up, we'll
Hmm.
we'll let everybody in, and then you all will just be up and going and good to go.
Okay, sounds good.
And
All right.
because you're now host,
Hmm.
he gets in, If you
Uh-huh.
hover your mouse over his name under on the right-hand side where it's that where you can list the participants,
Mm-hmm.
the little blue box will pop up that says more. And if you click on that more box over his name, you can make him co-host. You'll see a co-host in the drop down.
So I went over to more and
Like if you
where do
go
I?
over to more under me, because right now, obviously, it's just you and I.
Okay, so I go to participants. I see you and I. Oh, more there. Okay, more. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I
And
can
actually, if
say,
you can make me a co-host, back a co-host,
okay,
this way I can admit people. Um,
just did it.
gives
Mm-hmm.
him the ability to screen share if he needed to.
Okay, got you. Okay. So like right now, I can actually mute you even though you're co-host.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see, let's do a test.
Yep.
All right. I'm going to mute you now. Say something. Say a word that is that obviously I wouldn't know.
Can you
I'm
hear me
gonna
now?
I'm gonna mute you right now,
Oh.
Allison. I don't think I can hear you. I can hear you. Okay, I'm unmuting. Okay, so I unmuted you.
Yeah, that worked.
Okay, it works. All right. Okay,
All
this is
right.
a good feature. All right. Well, I'm going to go mute myself, and then I'm going to, be back.
We'll jump back on. Okay.
All
Thanks.
right then. Thanks. is for when I was just checking to see if you were able to get the information and dial in. Oh. Okay, sounds good. Look forward to seeing you. Yeah, we're just doing a test. You know, everything seems like it's up and running or whatever, but yeah. Okay, then. All right, thanks. Bye. Morning, Hugh.
Hey, Corin, how are you?
I'm fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Can you see me?
No, you don't. I don't see
Okay.
you. You can see me, right?
Yeah, I can. I can.
So yeah, you have to go to the where it's the icon for the video. I don't know if it's at the top or the bottom
I
of
got
your
it.
screen.
It was just covered up. Oh, there we are.
Ah, all right.
So you're doing okay today and ready to go.
Yeah, well, I'm doing okay. I guess I'm ready to go. I just got on the phone and called Mr. Han because he said he was gonna dial in like 15 minutes early. I said, "Oh, where is he at?" I'm like, "Oh no, let's not be an issue." And I something said, "Have a backup presentation just in case the person doesn't show up."
Hey, that's
Uh,
great.
yeah. But he said he'll be jumping on here in a minute or so.
Okay,
But
perfect, perfect.
yep. And I think Allison's still on mute.
Yeah,
Yep. Yep.
she's here. She's on mute right now.
Yeah, I was talking to her earlier. We just did a little quick, check to make sure everything is good to go. So,
Trying to get centered. I can't.
what you trying to find your best angle, Hugh?
Yeah, I'm looking for it. I can't find it this morning. It's just not
Yeah.
there.
Hey, it's one of those mornings, right?
It has been.
It's like which side of the bed, which side of my head did I sleep on? Because I got to pick the other side.
That's exactly right.
Oh man, I tell you. But yeah, I just Jamie's dialing in now. Okay, I gotta admit him. That's what it is. There we go.
Oh, there's Jamie.
Good morning, Jamie. I think he's still.
Sorry about that. Morning,
There
Corey.
he
How
is.
you doing this morning?
Hey, good morning. Good morning. Thank you for joining us.
Oh, thanks very much for the invite. We greatly appreciate the opportunity.
Hey, Jamie, I just want to introduce you real quick to Hugh Gilliam. He's the president of FIAPSI USA.
Good morning, Hugh. How you
Good
doing
morning.
today?
Fine, thank you, Jamie. Glad you could join us today. We're excited to hear what you have to say. I mean,
Yeah.
as you know, you guys are in the business, and you know that technology changes every single day, it seems like. And
It does. And in the commercial real estate space, it's obviously a much more conservative industry, so slower to adopt. But yeah, we're starting to see, especially this environment that we're in today, a much greater adoption of technology because it's all about leveraging technology to create automation, cost savings, and improve asset performance. And so we're excited to be able to share that with the group today.
exactly. And I'm just glad you volunteered to be with us today. I hope we have a great crowd for you.
Excellent. Likewise. Do you have a sense of how many attendees or not?
No, we
Personally,
don't.
I don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't either. Unless Allison has some sort of gauge on. I don't know, and I don't know how she would because I don't think it was done through like Eventbrite or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't think we had I don't think we had the registration process. I think it was just an open call, to show up today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
And so you, just for the format, you're going to show a couple slides to kick off. Is that what I'm looking at here? And then I'll then go ahead and click share my screen.
Correct. You are a co-presenter, and so you have the ability. I don't even think I have to give it over to you. I think you have the ability to, just start clicking the
It
button.
looks like it's active. Yeah, it looks like it's
green
and active, so we should be good.
Yeah, so I'll do an introduction, and then, like I said, a couple of slides, and then and then just hand it over to you.
Fantastic.
All right. Jamie, where are you based out of?
I'm actually based just In New Jersey, along the small coast town about 50 minutes south of Manhattan and about an hour and 10 minutes east northeast of Philadelphia.
Okay. What's the name of the town or area?
It's called where I live is called Seagirt, Manasquan area, Spring Lake. I don't know if you're
Oh, wow. No, not at all. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I didn't say the name, because I didn't think they're like, 3 mile square little beach towns. It's a really beautiful
Oh, it's
area.
a beach town. Okay, yeah, you did say that. Okay, gotcha. Yeah. Well, it's I don't spend a whole lot of time up that way, but I do. I used to go up to the Lakehurst Naval Station there
Yeah.
when I was in serving in the military. And I have family in Philadelphia, so I'm always there. And then, I go to New York City a lot because I enjoy going up there.
Yeah, no, and Lakehurst is probably about a half hour southwest of where I'm at. So not too far.
Not too far. Okay, gotcha.
No, not too far.
Yeah.
And you're both in DC, is that correct or no?
I'm in DC. He was in Atlanta.
Atlanta. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Excellent.
Mm-hmm.
We're the ones on national news. You keep hearing about Georgia schools that are quarantining their classes. Because we started early, and the most recent in Cherokee County, which is north of Fulton, we had 2 schools shut down yesterday because of COVID-19 and the spread that continues.
And that where they were only open for maybe a week, right?
That's right.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard that even I think I heard correctly if it was Georgia or Florida today, but the highest number of single day coronavirus deaths as well.
Yeah.
That was us.
Yeah.
We
really?
had that.
Oh,
Yeah.
wow. I didn't know that.
Well, the highest number Georgia's seen was yesterday. And that was either 187, 167, something like that. That was the number we heard this morning.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, look, I think, kids need to go back to school for all the right reasons, right? But it's just challenging. I mean, the virus is obviously doesn't take age for granted, doesn't matter. And it's just, it's hard to social distance little kids at the end of the day, I think. Right?
Yeah,
so
it would have to be. Absolutely.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, it's impossible, right? So, and I don't think you can have a little child wear a mask all day. I mean, that's tough. I mean, obviously it's probably the right thing to do, but yeah, it's a very challenging situation, no doubt about it. But hopefully we'll have a vaccine sooner than later, and we'll be able to look forward.
I hope so.
Yeah, same here. Same here. Let's see something. Oh, chat. Something's going on in chat. Hold on 1 second.
So Erica's here.
Hey, good morning, Erica.
Good morning. My other earbuds home, but the earbuds I have plugged in right now don't allow me to speak. So, and I am driving to a 11 o'clock appointment. So.
Okay, got you.
How are you
doing well. How are you doing?
Not bad. Just had my workout.
Uh-oh.
Starting my day, going to the next appointment. So it's been productive. So far.
That's good. That's good.
Did you hear about the explosion we had?
Yeah. So it's a funny story. I'm dealing with that right now on an investment property that I'm buying where there was 3 gas leaks and the guy didn't want to fix it. I said, "Oh, no. You're going to be fixing this before I buy this." So, and I heard about the Baltimore one. I was just like, wow.
Well, it's interesting because I had left the gym, ran a couple errands, and was headed in that direction. So literally, if I had not have ran my errands, I would have probably heard it.
Mm-hmm.
Because the police were in the area where I was traveling. They were blocking off the street, and I had no idea what was going on until a resident, I asked, because I was making all these turns going down alleys because traffic was being diverted. And so I asked one of the bystanders, and he said there was just an explosion. And then I heard everything on the news. It was just really scary.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
but
That is scary.
yeah. So yeah,
Was
you make sure you get that gas leak fixed.
Oh, trust me, I'm working diligently on that, and going to get my own independent test too. So I'm like, I want to make sure everything is good to go. Was there any injuries from the explosion?
Oh my gosh, there were, I'm gonna say 3 fatalities.
Oh
A
no!
20-year-old Morgan student
Oh
and
no!
a female, and she was pregnant.
Oh no! I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
Oh
So,
no! Oh
um,
wow!
yep, that's it for right now. Hopefully, no other fatalities will be discovered.
Man,
Yeah,
okay. All right. Well, thanks for sharing.
yeah. So
Man.
we just have to, when you say be careful and be safe, I mean, this is real. This is the kind of
Yeah.
stuff that we don't anticipate.
Yep.
But
Yep.
I mean, you never know what's going to happen. You're driving down the street and minding your business, and something happens crazy out of
Yep.
your control.
Yep. Yep.
But it's a
Well,
great morning.
yep. So we have a few more people have joined us. And let's see, we got 3 minutes afterwards. Let's see, it looks like we got a nice little crowd. Good morning, Evan. And good morning, Randy. Good morning.
Hey there, Corin.
Lana. I think that's how I pronounce it. Janelle. All right.
Morning, Corwin.
Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Evan.
Hey there, Hugh. That's a good looking crowd.
Yeah. Okay, I think I'm just going to go ahead and get started. As you know, other people may trickle in as we go through this. So let's see. All right, let me get my screen going here. Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to FIAPSA USA's Tech in 30. I'm Corwin Nicholson. I'm Vice President of the DC Mid-Atlantic Council, and I'll be your moderator for this new series. I'm joined by our presenter today, Mr. Jamie Hahn of Brainbox AI. Good morning, Jamie.
Good morning, Corwin.
All right. Well, before we get started, I'd like to, acknowledge our president of FIAPSA USA and also the creator behind Tech in 30, Mr. Hugh Gilliam. Good morning, Hugh.
Good morning. And let me just say one quick thing.
Yeah.
This is real close to my heart and your heart too, as far as technology, and the fact that we've got to embrace it more and more every single day. And the Tech in 30 actually was originated by Randy Chavers, who chairs the communications committee for FIAPSA USA. And I know he's on the call. And we had a great in-depth conversation about what we could do for the members to keep them up to date, because as I mentioned earlier, when we were just talking one-on-one, you know as well as I do, technology changes every single day.
Yeah.
I mean, new developments, and we got to embrace it. We really do. So Randy and I talked about it. He initiated the Tech in 30, and there'll be a monthly presentation, and Corin's going to be leading that. And we appreciate you because that's what you do. You're an AI, and you're the one that knows. You've got the know-how and the actual upfront and personal relationship with technology. So I think that's important. So congratulations, great kickoff, and I appreciate everyone joining today.
All right. Well, thank you, Hugh. That was very insightful, and thank you to Randy as the creator of Tech in 30. I know he's the one to present it to me, but I figured that you and him had been working, to bring this, to light here, and I appreciate you guys' confidence and trust in me to help, moderate the series. So yeah, looking forward to more to follow. So basically, Hugh pretty much said it all. I mean, Tech in 30. We're looking at technology in real estate. One of the things that I had discovered as I got into real estate was that, it seems like, technology was an afterthought, but, really be quite honest, in real estate, technology is very, very important. And during this time that we are not able to be, socially close, technology is becoming very important, and like in all other industries. So we want to, as Hugh say, put on this this series to talk about the new things, the new products and services of today, and those that are burgeoning that's coming into the field. And we're, like I said, we're going to talk about artificial intelligence today. This is a topic near and dear to my heart because that's something I work on as well. And my goal is to bring technology into real estate, and particularly AI. So this is definitely right up my alley. So, but before we actually get to Jamie, I want to kind of talk a little bit about FIOPSI, just in a couple of slides here. So, for anyone who's a guest here, I think from the names I can see that we have a lot of people who are familiar and associated with FIOPSI. Just excuse me for a second. There's a few people who's trying to get in, and I need to admit them. Okay, all right. I think I got everyone. Okay, there's someone else. Okay. Oh, okay, here's a couple more. Sorry. Okay, all right. Oh, okay. Couple more. Sorry, guys.
Oh, this is good, Corin. We got more people attending.
Yeah. Okay, so FIOPSI, what is it? It's an international real estate federation. It's been founded in Paris in 1951. Basically connects real estate professionals across multiple disciplines. When we're talking about disciplines, we're talking about agents, brokers, developers, architects, investors. We're talking the whole, scope of individuals and professions dealing with real estate. And basically, what FIOPSI provides is a platform for direct access to international business opportunities, locally, nationally, and internationally. And so the scope is wide, and you can build a complete network using the FIOPSI platform. It's what's drawn me to this organization, and it's definitely something that I see the potential in continuing my real estate career, and also bringing technology, as I mentioned before, into the fold. One of the things that FIOPSI has is that we have a special status with the Economic and Social Council of the United Nations. And so we're focused on serious housing and environmental issues worldwide. So we have, some very important topics that we work through our affiliation with the United Nations. And so, that's an outreach for us, and it's very positive, and I'm excited to be a part of an organization like that. So in terms of the scope of FIOPSI, so we're around the world. I like to say every country, but we have a chapter in fairly decent amount of countries here. One of the things just want to bring note is that the USA chapter, like the other country chapters, we're a little bit unique because of the United States. We divided in states, so we have councils in not all the states, but representing a lot of the areas. So as I mentioned before, I'm a part of DC Mid-Atlantic, and we just officially stood up that council, let's say a couple of months ago, I believe. It's just been so long. And so we're excited to get things ramped up in the DC Mid-Atlantic. If you heard Erica, she is the president of the DC Mid-Atlantic local council. And these are the rest of the councils across USA. I think Los Angeles was one of the more recent ones as well, along with DC Mid-Atlantic. So we're excited and looking forward to, continued growth in our councils and the USA chapter alone. So I believe that's enough about FIOPSI, as great as it is. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jamie Hahn to tell us about Brainbox AI. Jamie.
Thanks very much, Corwin. Good morning, everyone. Again, my name is Jamie Hahn, Sales Director US at Brainbox AI, and greatly appreciate the opportunity to give you a high-level introduction to our company and, more importantly, our groundbreaking technology for the commercial real estate space. So I'm going to go ahead and disable participant. Can you enable the screen sharing? I'm sorry. Oh, there we go.
I think I stopped, and I think you should be able to
do it now. Okay. Oh, disabled.
Okay.
Host disabled participant sharing. I'm getting a message that said host disabled participant screen sharing.
Okay.
Corwin, if you're host, you can make him co-host.
Yeah, he's already co-host, so that's why he should be able to just go ahead and.
Okay, great.
You should be able to just hit share, start sharing.
Share. Yeah, I'm clicking share screen. It's coming up with a message saying host disabled participant screen sharing, and it only gives me an OK option.
Let me go back to you.
Sometimes you have to go to the security and click enable screen sharing. So either host could do that.
Let me find your name again, Jamie. Let's see. I'm going to make you the co-host again.
Okay.
And there you go.
Okay. There we go. 1 second. So can everybody see my screen now?
It's starting to share.
It's black so far, but it's coming through soon. Jamie, do you have a panel open that's black?
Yeah,
Perhaps
that's probably what's going on. It has to be.
click on the whatever screen you want to share, if it's PowerPoint or something like that, and then share.
There we go.
Got it.
It's coming up. Okay, great.
Great. You know how technology is.
I'm going to try to go to full screen here. Last time it didn't like that. Let me try this one more time. All right, for some reason. Can everybody see that okay? It's not allowing me for some reason to go to full screen. Can everybody see that okay?
Jamie, I think you need to start the slideshow.
Right, it's at the bottom, should be at your bottom right, kind of something like that.
Yes.
It's on the.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, we're good now.
Right.
Thanks very much for the assistance. So again, everybody, my name is Jamie Hahn with Brainbox, and just going to take you through a high-level presentation. Certainly would like it to be engaging, so if you want to put any questions in the chat, we'll leave plenty of time at the end to ensure that we can go through everybody's questions. But basically what this is about is the ability to leverage AI in the commercial real estate space around energy savings and improving comfort for occupants in buildings. So to start, I just want to give you a quick background on the company. So Brainbox AI is a Canadian-based company based out of Montreal. We were founded in 2017. For the first 2 years of our existence, we were really entirely in research and development mode, or some people like to say stealth mode, where we really did most of the heavy lifting of the development of the technology. We began doing some pilots toward the second half of those first 2 years, and then we commercially brought the technology to market in May of 2019 last year. Currently, we're in over 15 cities. We're just surpassed about 23 million square feet of installed customers in just 14 months. So I think we'll touch on that but the light touch and scalability of the technology is really kind of groundbreaking. But on top of it, the relevance to Montreal is that it is one of the few major AI hubs in the world. So not only does that give us incredible opportunities to bring in the best talent in the marketplace to our growing team, but we're also working very closely with research and universities in the market, have published many papers that you can access online, and we're growing the company very rapidly. We're up to 65 people. I was the first US employee, just to give you a sense, in middle of February, and we were at 42 people. So we're scaling not just in North America, but we're scaling globally across many, many markets. So just a quick background on the company. So when you look at commercial buildings today and you look at some of the primary challenges, one of them is that HVAC systems consume approximately 45 to 50% of a building's energy consumption. In addition, roughly 30% of that energy consumption is wasted today. So this presents a tremendous opportunity for real estate owners, operators, and investors to leverage technology to address these challenges. The problem really has been, and one of the challenges, is that most energy efficiency upgrades or solutions that have been available in the market generally require significant CapEx, and they also entail very lengthy times of implementation. And more so in this environment that the real estate industry is dealing with. Many real estate companies have frozen CapEx expenditures. And again, I think we'll show you how we've taken a major step change pertaining to that. And last, but certainly not least, HVAC operations directly impact occupant comfort. So high levels of complaints, lower productivity, these are all issues that revolve around HVAC. And this is really important because it really, if you can improve the wellness and the comfort of the spaces that you offer, it will certainly improve tenant and occupant sentiment, and it will allow real estate owners and operators to not only retain high quality tenants, but be able to attract higher quality tenants to their spaces moving forward. So we talk about AI, we hear a lot about AI today. Many industries throughout the world are leveraging AI and have been. Everything from the medical industries to the financial industries. But the autonomous car, if we just take a look at how they're leveraging artificial intelligence, and basically they're using AI to predict what's going to happen in the future in order to drive in the most efficient and safest manner, right? So it's entirely preemptive in how it's driving an autonomous car. But now imagine if that car drove in an entirely reactive manner. What would that look like? In essence, it would be like driving a car with the windshield covered up and only being able to look out the rearview mirror and side windows. Well, that's exactly how HVAC systems in commercial buildings operate today. They're entirely reactive. They're schedule-based, rule-based systems, which means that they're fixed and they're certainly not adaptive. Yet we all know building environments, I should say, are extremely dynamic and are always changing. Occupancy levels, outdoor weather conditions, all of these things have an impact on the operations of commercial buildings today. So at Brainbox, what our contribution has been to the space is that, and made us very unique in the space, is that we're in essence converting existing HVAC systems into autonomous HVAC systems using AI and cloud computing. So when you look at the autonomous car piece, right, we're leveraging that same technology when it comes to HVAC. And we want to shift the approach versus today, as I mentioned, HVAC systems are only reactive to temperature events that have already occurred in the various spaces in a building. And we are shifting that approach to one where the AI is able to actually predict the space temperature in each and every zone of a building 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in advance, and then proactively and autonomously making continuous real-time adjustments to how the HVAC system runs in order to save energy and to increase comfort. So the easiest thing to think about us is that we're an autonomous AI-driven HVAC optimization service that simply layers on top of the existing HVAC control system in a commercial building and it allows it to move from being reactive to preemptive in how that system is maintained and managed. So how do we do this? Again, we're leveraging artificial intelligence, deep learning, and the computational power of the cloud. So the first thing that we do is we extract out all of the existing building data from the building management system into the cloud. We then enrich that data with real-time weather information specific to that building. And then the AI will go through a learning period where it actually learns exactly how that building operates, what the thermal dynamics are in that building, to the point that it has the ability to predict that temperature and understand what that building is going to face in the future with over 99% accuracy. So if you think about an office building today that's about to face a 95-degree sunny day, and that same building that's going to face a 70-degree cloudy day, the AI will know what thermal conditions that building is going to face, and it will preemptively start making optimal changes to the settings of the various HVAC components ahead of time that are impacting those zones in the building. That could be anything from the VAV, the air handler units, fan speed coils, and all other equipment that is tied to the BMS system. And in essence, what it does is it prevents or it cancels out that thermal event or that temperature event from even happening before it happens. So when we drive a building in a preemptive manner, we're able to deliver significant value to our clients. So as I mentioned earlier today, we're installed in a little over 23 million square feet over the last 14 months. And based on the data points of all the connected buildings that are on Brainbox today, our clients are consistently seeing up to 25% in total building energy reduction. And it's important to note that that's total building energy reduction, which means that we're actually optimizing the HVAC system by well over 50%. By doing that, we also have the ability to deliver improved sustainability metrics and allow our clients to achieve ESG goals by reducing carbon footprint by 20 to 40% in those buildings at the same time. As important to the energy reduction and cost savings to many of our clients, though, is the ability to improve comfort at the same time. So it's really important to understand that we're not compromising comfort in order to generate energy savings. It's just the opposite. Our AI's objective is really to improve the comfort metric, which I'll touch on momentarily. And by doing that, a byproduct of improving comfort is the ability to reduce energy and reduce operating costs. So we're generally seeing 60 to 70% improvement in occupant comfort. And what I mean by that is every building has a set point that are established. That's the cooling and heating set point. It's referred to as the dead band between those two temperature ranges. That could be, 68 to 72 degrees as an example. And what our AI is able to do by being preemptive and understanding what the building is going to be facing, we're able to maintain a much higher level of time within the dead band that's already been established in the building. So we've significantly reduced the swings of temperature in and out of that dead band, and that translates to improved comfort. The last but not least is the simplistic ease of installation of our technology in a building. So it's extremely light touch. It says 2 to 3 hours. The physical installation of our box takes no longer than an hour, and then everything else happens remotely in the cloud. So you don't have to disrupt business operations. It's simple and quick to deploy, and it also doesn't require much time and effort from the on-site building engineers or building managers within a given building. Something I wanted to touch on that I think is really important, because there's a lot of noise in the market. There's a lot of confusion around AI and machine learning within the commercial real estate space. And in a lot of cases, when we engage with clients up front, they kind of assume that we're more like what I would call a building analytics platform that is pulling in all the different disparate or siloed data from a building, doing some form of maybe AI and machine learning, some form of analytics, and then generally presenting that information as insights via a dashboard. That's considered an open loop AI solution. And the issue with an open loop solution is identifying the optimization opportunity is just step number one. And the problem with those is that due to the human resource constraint, because human beings have to take the final action and implement those optimization insights, is that many of those insights in an open loop solution never get implemented simply due to the fact that there's not enough human beings in a building or engineers in a building to continually implement all these changes and optimization opportunities, you know, every hour of the day, 24 hours a day. So it's important to understand that we are a closed loop AI solution. And what I mean by that is that we're able to observe, learn, predict, and act autonomously with no human intervention. We are doing this every 5 minutes in every zone of the building, right? So even if you had a team of 25 engineers that sat there 24/7, never took a break, never went to sleep, they wouldn't be able to replicate what the AI is doing. And this is really where the power of AI is bringing tremendous benefit to the commercial real estate space. So we're doing hundreds and hundreds of very small optimization tweaks to the HVAC system throughout the course of the day, if you think about it. And the beauty of the AI is it never sleeps. It never takes a coffee break. So it's continually optimizing the building on an ongoing basis. So we have a real simple 4-step process of how we deploy the solution. The first step is that we install our Edge Gateway. It's a 12-inch by 12-inch box. It's a 12-inch by 12-inch box, only takes about an hour to install, has a standard power cord, has an Ethernet connection that's plugged into the BMS network. Once that's completed, then we, as I mentioned before, the first thing we do is we extract out all the existing building data. And that's already a first step in a very positive way and a value that we're delivering to our customers, because if you understand a building management system, it's overwriting that operational data every 2 to 3 days. So data is power, and most commercial buildings are literally throwing that data out every 2 to 3 days. So we're bringing all that data, we bring it up to the cloud. Again, we enrich that data with real-time weather information so that the AI is starting to form correlations through the learning period of how that building operates internally and what's going on outdoor with the weather conditions of how that's going to impact the thermal dynamics of that building. So that AI will go through that learning period, generally 6 to 8 weeks. It's in read-only mode, so we're not doing anything to the building. We're just really understanding how that building operates, and we're generating a unique AI model specific to that building. Again, importantly, it's done on a zone-by-zone basis. Once the AI has completed that learning period, how do we know that? As I mentioned earlier, when we're doing our remote simulations on the data in the building, again, virtually, the AI gets to a point where it's able to predict the temperature 2, 3, 4, 5 hours in advance on a zone-by-zone basis at over 99% accuracy. Once it's the AI is at that level of learning, we know that we're ready to switch to what we call autonomous mode. Autonomous mode is when we start writing back, modulating the equipment, and optimizing the building. That's when we start impacting comfort and we start delivering cost savings and energy savings to our clients. Now, it's very important to understand that the AI will never stop learning. Okay, it's just not that learning period. It's a continual learning process, and it will continue to refine its model every single day moving forward. So as the building changes, if there's any retrofits to the building, as occupancy levels change, which they will because they're more volatile now with staged reentry, it's adaptive. And that's really the major differential than the current HVAC systems today that are just the opposite. They're very rigid and they're very fixed. So again, really simple install, very light touch, which means it's very scalable. And we've seen this with our clients when we install in the first building. Very quickly, a couple months later, they're saying, how quickly can you install it in 10, 15, 20 more of my buildings within my portfolio? Okay, so I just quickly also wanted to talk about how we price the solution. So we are a SaaS model. We're a software as a service or a subscription-based service. And again, I think that's a major step change in the industry because many of the other solutions are very CapEx intensive, as we touched on earlier, take a long time to deploy. So what we're looking at here is a 500,000 square foot office building as an example. This office building is spending $3 per square foot in total energy costs per year, or $1.5 million. Generating 25% savings or equivalent to $375,000. And then I'm sorry, I just want to cover this up. Our fee would be $115,000. That would be broken out on a monthly basis, or 23 cents a square foot. That also includes our onboarding, installation, and setup fee. So on an ongoing basis, actually, that would be more like 19 cents per year, again, broken out on a monthly subscription basis. The benefit here is the net savings over this 16-month engagement period. And I'm going to explain what I mean by 16-month engagement process here momentarily. But the net savings to a client with no out-of-pocket cost is over $300,000 in positive cash flow. So what we've done, yes, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, I thought I heard something. So what we've done is we've established an engagement model that in essence has a free trial period built into it. And the reason we did that is we're still fairly new to the US market, and we know the technology works, but we want to put our money where our mouth is. We want to validate and prove out the benefits of our solution to each and every client moving forward. So the way that works is our clients are signing an agreement up front. However, there's no cost, there's no upfront cost to them. We will then go through the installation, onboarding, and AI learning period as we discussed. That's the first 2 months. Once that's completed, we switch to autonomous mode. That's when we start generating savings and we start impacting the comfort within that building. So basically, we're providing months 3 and months 4 as the free trial period. In this case, you can see that we're generating significant savings. At that point, the 12-month subscription agreement would kick in the beginning of month 5. So again, it gives the ability for the client to validate the benefit of the service for those first 4 months at no cost. If for some reason they weren't happy with the service, you can simply disconnect our box in less than 5 minutes. The building entirely reverts back to the way it was running prior to Brainbox being installed, because we're not reprogramming the BMS. We're not changing the set points when it comes to space level temperature. We're just overriding the outputs of how it operates, right? But the benefit here is you can see significant benefit to our clients, and we wanted to put this built-in free trial period within our engagement model. That's why it comes up to a 16-month engagement model, as I mentioned earlier, because the 4 months, there's no cost for what we're doing in the service we're providing. So quickly, just some of the other advantages that we provide as part of our service is we have our own internal monitoring team. These are our own building engineers. And so they have eyes and ears 24/7 on any and every building that's connected to our platform. The importance to that is that we want to ensure that any of the equipment that we're monitoring or that we're maintaining or optimizing within a building, is that there's no failures in that equipment, because if there's failures within the building, that would have a direct impact on our ability to deliver results to the customer. So we're looking for alarms, we're looking for anomalies, and we'll literally pick up the phone, we'll call our customer and say, hey, just as an example, a month ago, our monitoring team realized that there were a bunch of temperature sensors in the building that were reporting bad numbers or out of range. So we sent a list of those temperature sensors to the client, and they were extremely thankful because they said, look, if you hadn't notified of this, the only way we would have found out about it is if we started receiving complaints from our tenants. So again, it's just part and parcel of our service. We want to be ensured that there's no impacts to the equipment that we're optimizing, and we're certainly providing great feedback to our clients, seeing if there's any alarms or anomalies or issues with any of the equipment within the building. We're control system agnostic, so the existing building management system in place, we're agnostic to what system that is. We work with Honeywell's, Johnson, Schneider, Siemens, and many others. The only underlying requirement is that the BMS control system supports open protocol, most commonly BACnet, but also Modbus and LawnWorks. Open protocol has really been around since probably 2003, 2004. Any systems that have been installed around that time period moving forward generally will support open protocol. That allows us to address approximately 85+% of the addressable market today. The other major thing to touch on is that there is no sensor deployment required with our technology. So you don't have to pepper your building with sensors or IoT devices in order to get the benefits of our technology. Now, if you are capturing additional information, like some energy submetering information or some high-level granular occupancy data, the AI is data hungry. So we are always open to understanding what other data sets that we can ingest and enrich that overall AI model. But the important point here is that no sensor deployment is required. Based on the results that I showed you, we have not deployed any sensors, just our edge gateway. In addition to that, we do have a dashboard, and I'll show you just quickly the dashboard. So the dashboard provides some performance metrics. We're ingesting the utility bill information specific to that building. So we pull in historical billing information and we pull in real-time current billing information. That's what's populating behind here on the dashboard. And you have the ability to look at it from a portfolio view. So I can see the aggregate of all my buildings that are running Brainbox AI. And I have the ability to drill down building to building. And I can see where I'm at with energy savings, dollar savings, how the comfort metric has been improved in the buildings. I have the ability to benchmark and look at where we were versus where we are today with Brainbox. And I have the ability to drill down month to month, building to building, to see where I'm at with that comfort metric. Now, it's important to note that we do follow the highest standards when it comes to measurement and verification methodology of how we're calculating these savings. Very important to us and very important to our clients. So do you understand that we use the IP MVP and the ASHRAE 14 to calculate the energy savings that we're presenting here via the dashboard? I just quickly wanted to show you a slide. We talk a lot about our high level of AI predictive capability. This is showing you a building of what the actual temperatures registered in the building versus what our predicted temperatures were in that building. In this case, again, 99.6% accurate. So at that level of accuracy, we're as good or better than a physical temperature sensor on the wall. In addition, I just wanted to quickly touch on a temperature curve comparison. So what you're looking at here, that black line is an existing HVAC system that's reactive to temperature events that have already occurred, right? That's all HVAC systems that are in commercial buildings today are that black line. So only when it hits the cooling set point does it then get a message to say, turn on fan, turn on cooling stage 1, right? Entirely reactive to a temperature event that has already occurred. And the momentum of that thermal event builds up over time. So you just can't stop it. And what ends up happening is by being reactive, you overshoot, right? So number one, the occupants are already feeling warm. So there's an issue on a comfort level. That's too little, too late. You can't address that. But by being reactive, you're consuming a lot more kilowatt hours when you drive a building in that manner. On top of it, when you're reactive, you tend to overshoot both on the cooling set point and the heating set point. And that's where you're getting these swings of temperature in and out of that deadband that I mentioned earlier, right? So you're negatively impacting comfort and you're using a lot more kilowatt hours to drive a building this way. Then when you look at our preemptive AI-enabled approach, the red line, you can see that, and unfortunately this has become common for all of us to understand and hear in the news, but literally we are flattening the curve, the temperature curve with AI in commercial buildings. And by driving a building in this way, you can see that we maintain a much higher level of time within the deadband. I just want to give everybody a visualization because I think it helps to hear this. If you picture a vehicle, a car driving down the road, it's a normal car and it's on cruise control. This is a reactive car. This is like the reactive HVAC system. That car is going down the road and there's a hill that's coming up, but the car has no ability to know the hill's coming up, right? Because the windshield in essence is covered. What happens? It then engages the hill, it starts going up the hill, and then the car realizes only at that point that, oh geez, I'm going up a hill. So what happens is you see the RPM shoot through the roof, right? In a very reactive manner. The same is true, it has no visibility to understand when it's approaching the top or the apex of the hill. So that reactive system will carry far too much energy and inertia over the top of the hill, requiring you to apply a lot more breakage by doing that. Now, if you take that same car that's predictive, like our solution, it knows that hill's coming up before it encounters the hill. So it preemptively starts accelerating just the right amount to carry enough speed up the hill. And at the same time, it knows when it's going to be approaching the apex of the hill. So it only carries just the bare bones amount of energy and inertia over the top of the hill, vastly reducing the amount of breakage that's required going down the hill. So again, by driving a building in this way, we consume a tremendously less amount of kilowatt hours while improving the comfort metric for our clients. I mentioned the install base. Again, we're over 20 million square feet installed over the last 14 months. actually over 60 properties today, and it's across a variety of property types. So commercial office is a great target for our solution. Mixed use retail, shopping malls, but predominantly closed malls, hospitality or hotels, universities, hospitals, etc. So again, works across a variety of building types. The most important thing I would say is that the building has a centralized HVAC system that has a BMS or building management system in place, and that the building management system controls a large percentage of the total square footage of the building. So just real quickly, we've done many hotels. And in a hotel environment, generally the building management system will not control the guest rooms. It'll only control the common areas, the restaurants, and so forth. With our pricing model, we'll only charge on the square footage that we're optimizing.
Hold on one second, Jamie. Hold on a second. We have a mic check. We have a hot mic. Hello.
Okay, in the last 10 days, have you tested positive coronavirus?
Let me see if I can mute someone here.
She can't hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, no problem. So what I was just saying real quickly, if you take a hotel as an example, generally the building management system will not control the guest rooms. So in that implementation, we're only able to control the square footage that the BMS controls. However, with our pricing model, we'll only charge on the square footage that we control. So in a hotel, it might be a 100,000 square foot hotel. We're only controlling and optimizing 50,000 square feet of that. We'll only charge on the square footage that we're optimized. So the economics still are very compelling and work in those type of environments as well. Just a couple quick case studies. An office building, 137,000 square foot, a hotel that I mentioned before. And then we also have a retail environment case study to show you guys here as well. So again, I think the point here is that it's very applicable to a large variety of commercial real estate. The area that it's probably not good and suitable for is multifamily, or we're not focused on the residential spaces. So with that, I just wanted to thank everyone for the time and opportunity, and really would like to open it up to any Q&A that we can answer.
Thank you so much, Jamie. That was very, very insightful in terms of AI being used in commercial real estate. There are some questions, and I believe the first question was from Shirley Johnson Boyd. Shirley, you had a question in regards to your first one. Says, does this system automatically scale up during surge events such as AWS does for cloud storage?
So does it, I'm sorry, Corwin, does it surge up? Is that what you had said?
Yeah, I think, Shirley, go ahead and explain a little bit more, but I think I know what you're referring to.
Yeah, and I think you touched on it a little bit further in that. I got so anxious because I'm geeking out on this. But I was wondering, the first question was, does it automatically surge up? So if you have a commercial property, office building or whatever, and you have a conference area in there and you have a conference coming in, you got a lot of people coming in. So it's going to affect the comfort of everyone.
Yes. Yeah, a great question. So yes, the AI, because it's adaptive, will understand that thermal event that's occurring there, and then on top of it, we also have the ability, if there's certain events that are going to be planned that could be put into, from a scheduling perspective, into our AI or through our system. So to answer your question, yes, it is adaptive. It will understand that surge in occupancy, or vice versa. It can understand if a building is experiencing less occupancy, maybe because of the reopening process and more staged type reentry that many buildings are doing today.
Great, thank you. Thank you for that follow-up also on the being preemptive for an event. Thank you.
Nope, thank you for the question.
Shirley, you had actually a couple more questions I can read off, or if you like.
Yeah, you can read it. I don't want to. I'm a geek.
No worries, no worries.
So I don't want to hog the.
No, that's fine. That's fine. We have a little room for these types of questions. So your second question, so for buildings not on a triple net lease, are you working with customers to use your technology while they're leasing the building versus having to be with the building owner exclusively? Was the first part of that question.
Yes. So in some cases, we are working with large corporations that have a very large global footprint, either some buildings that they own and operate, but in most cases, buildings that they're tenants in. So in those cases, the way that we've implemented there is through the relationship with our client, we've gotten an introduction to the building owner, because the building owner does have to get on board. But the benefit is that by educating the building owner on the benefits that they can do for their common areas, while also providing the solution that one of their key. Can you still hear me? Sorry.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, sorry, I just lost my screen. Okay, so I was saying that yes, in those cases, we're engaging with both the client, which is the tenant, and the building owner. And generally, we're moving forward and implementing at a minimum in the common areas of the building as a whole, and then in those floors or in those areas where the tenant resides. So yes, absolutely, we have the ability to do that as well.
Great.
Okay, my last thing, and I'm going to quit after this, I promise. Are you on the GSA schedule? Are you FedRAMP? Are you doing U.S. federal buildings?
To answer that question, currently, no, we're not. We absolutely would love to get involved in that sector, but we're not yet, and certainly open to any introductions or ways that we might be able to participate, though.
Okay, I'll get your contact information on that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you, Shirley. Also, we have a question from, I believe, I'm not sure if I can get this name. Is this Lana? I'm not sure I can read this person's name here. Okay, that question is this for smaller commercial buildings and warehouses?
Yeah, so in regards to warehouse facilities, warehouses currently, at least today, are not a good target for the solution. And the reason I mention that is most warehouses generally might only heat the space, but not cool the space. And in addition to that, generally a warehouse is just one big zone. Yeah. Where the technology really has the ability for the AI model to use its level of sophistication as a building that has multiple floors, multiple zones, multiple levels of different occupancy type schedules in the building. So currently warehouse generally would not be a good one. If it's more of a refrigerated or cooled warehouse, then that could be applicable to our solution. But just a traditional warehouse that is not doing full HVAC and does not have a building management system as the other important component, generally they're not a good target for us, at least today.
And thank you. Corin, maybe if I can follow up on that. I'm just thinking in terms of warehouse distribution, they typically do have an office component that, it's a smaller percentage of the footprint.
Correct.
But maybe that kind of ties in. It's equivalent to a small commercial building, I suppose. And that was going to be my question: is the installation cost for this system the same for 1,000 square foot office building as it is for a 100,000 square foot office building?
No. So to answer that question on pricing, it's not. It's different, right? The pricing will vary based on the size of the building, the total square footage, but the total square footage that we're controlling, right? So take that hotel that I mentioned earlier, right? Generally, we're only controlling everything but the guest rooms. So we're only charging on that square footage. In regards to the warehouse with a small office building, generally, if it's a one-off office building, just to give you a sense, we're usually looking where the technology, our time and effort and the client's time and effort, where it starts really making sense, is about 50,000 square feet or greater on the office component. And the reason I mentioned the warehouse side is generally the warehouse will be maybe 100,000 square feet, but the office will be 4,000 square feet or 5,000 square feet. And we wouldn't be able to generate enough of a benefit for the time and effort involved. To give you an idea now, we're installing in office towers that are 30, 40, 50 stories high that are 1.5 million, 2+ million square feet. Closed malls, we're doing multiple malls right now that are over 1 to 2 million square feet in size as well. So generally a very small commercial office, if it's a one-off, probably isn't a good opportunity for us to look at. However, if it is like we're doing replicated retail, this is a newer solution that we're just rolling out. So maybe a 10,000 square foot retail location, but there's 500 of them. Those type of opportunities make a lot of sense. But if it's just a one building on its own, I would say minimum we're looking at about 50,000 square feet or larger.
Yeah, I mean, that was what I was trying to get a handle on. Where does, what's the point where the cost benefit analysis starts to make sense? So 50,000 square feet.
Yeah, if it's like a standalone office, like I said, I would say 50,000 square feet or larger. Right. Most of our clients, though, are larger portfolio owners. So if there's a larger portfolio and we're rolling out, across many buildings, then that number can come down, right? Because we're getting economies of scale. But if it's just a one building owner, I would say 50,000 square feet or larger. Yes.
Got it. Thank you.
Oh, thank you, Evan. Yeah, that's good. I do have a couple questions myself. You mentioned about it, being SaaS, software as a service, and I understand the pathway. The 5th month is really when the customers start experiencing the benefit. But as a software as a subscription, do the customer have the option of saying within that 16-month period, when it starts in the 5th month, can they just say, oh, I don't want to do it? Let's say we started in June. I want to turn off this service in August, and I'll resume back in September. Is that have ability to do that?
No. So, I mean, the way that we operate, again, just to clarify, when we do the install and the AI learning period, that's the first 2 months, really the onboarding of the building, let's call first 2 months, right? So we're not writing back, we're not generating benefit to the client during that period of time. Then the 2 free months really is months 3 and months 4. So those are months that we're going to generate savings, we're going to generate value. There's still no charge to the customer at that point in time. If they're happy with the results after the 4th month, then they go into the 12-month subscription agreement starting month 5. Generally, it's a 12-month agreement. We're getting some customers that have done initial pilots that are coming up and signing on to 3 or 5-year agreements. And obviously there's economies and scales and discounts of signing up for a larger term. But to answer your question, Corin, during that 12-month term, we don't have a clause that would say a client that you would be able to turn the service off for a month here or 2 months there. It's a 12-month service agreement really at that point. And at the end of the day, it's already cash flow positive because we've generated 2 free months of savings. And the savings we find generally are 4 to 5x greater than what the monthly cost is. So even if that building, I think the only reason that you might be asking is if a building was kind of shuttered down for 2 months. But even if the building was shuttered down, there's still value that we're bringing, even in a building in that environment, that we can preset the building to really minimize usage if they're truly not operating with people in that space.
Yeah, you hit upon what I was thinking, like say, buildings are not, say, at full capacity at this point, or, what would be their option during that time. But okay, I think you addressed it in terms of optimizing its usage, when the building is not at its full capacity, is, I guess, the theme I'm getting.
Yeah, that's correct. And if you just look at a calendar, right? Hypothetically, and I talk about this with prospective clients all day long. If someone was to sign up August 15th, right? By the time we onboard the building, by the time we go through the learning period, by the time we provide the 2 free months of service, they're not committing to pay anything until probably January of next year. So understand that we're in a challenging environment today. The commercial real estate space is with COVID-19. But you have to also plan that by the time we do all that process and onboarding, it really wouldn't be until, even if you signed in the next day or two, you wouldn't be paying anything really until next year.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. I just have one more other question, and this might be something that I believe I read on the company's profile. So is there any, say, detection capability for viruses in the building, say through if there's something attached to the ventilation filter, say that the AI would be able to recognize that this filter is getting clogged for whatever pollutants or viruses or whatever like that? Is there, and I think you mentioned in one of your slides, but it's just like, what's its capability, detection capability, and what could it do with it? Is it just a detection, or does it do anything else? And so
no, it's a great point. I mean, another thing that I didn't touch on, but we're also looking, we reduce bringing on peak loads, right? We're looking at your tariff structure. We're looking at when we should turn on equipment, when we should not, in the most energy efficient way. So we're also doing that simultaneously. But in regards to your question, we have given our AI objective. The objective is comfort and energy savings, right? However, what we've recently done is we've released another algorithm that's more of an air quality algorithm. And what that is, we're just giving the AI a different objective, and it's just a different deployment methodology. So with our air quality optimization service, we basically auto-configure, once we plug in, we auto-configure the HVAC control settings to comply with all the reopening guidelines from ASHRAE and the CDC. And so we reduce the risk, we can reduce the risk of ongoing airborne contamination by pre-configuring and running the HVAC system in this manner. And that obviously can enable buildings to open in a more safer fashion by avoiding bringing on the potential airborne spread through aerosols. Now, in regards to your question, if there was sensors deployed in the building, right, that had some type of an ability to understand if there's some issues with the filters or there's some contamination that's gone through the filter, if there was a sensor that would be able to read that and send us that data, then yes, we would be able to take that into account and modulate and operate the building based off of that information. It's no different than avoiding bringing in pollutants with this air quality thing. So what people don't think about is it's all about increasing fresh air changes, right? That's in general what buildings are looking to do today. They're going to use more energy doing that. But at the same time, if there's a smog warning, if there's a high pollen warning, if there's a fire nearby, you don't want to open your dampers at 80% capacity to bring in more fresh air. So we go above and beyond just the normal settings that a building would do to meet the ASHRAE and CDC guidelines. We're also looking at, as I said, air quality outside. And if there's bad air quality outside, then the AI is automatically, immediately in real time going to modify how that building runs to minimize bringing in that pollutants. And at the same time, even though you're generally going to use more energy when you do more fresh air changes per hour and run a building or run an HVAC system in that manner, our AI is going to do it in the most energy efficient way, right? We're not going to bring on new peak demand charges because again, we're looking at your utility bills and we're factoring that in every 5 minutes basically for each zone of how we modulate and optimize that building. So Corin, hopefully that answered your question.
Yes, it does. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. That is very good to hear. And it's, it's future potential technology that can help augment, bringing in whether they have another system to do to help with the, having detection in terms of a sensor, and then, bridging that with Brainbox AI. That would definitely can give you a building a potential complete solution for that particular issue. So yeah, thank you very much. All right, I think we're towards the end. Is there any last questions from anyone for Mr. Jamie Hahn? Any quick questions? Okay, let's see if I can. I'm sorry.
Let me just say one quick thing. I really appreciate what you've done, what Randy's done, and Jamie. I mean, I think this was absolutely wonderful. At the very beginning, I didn't see that Eugenia was here on the phone call, but I wanted, recognize Eugenia Foxworth as our president-elect and just give you an opportunity for her to wave at everyone. If you don't know her, this is who she is, and let her say hello to you.
Good morning, everybody. It was really nice seeing many of you. And Jamie, I am so pleased to have gotten the information that you've shared with us. And hopefully we will be able to work very closely together with our members and their businesses as well. Have a great day, everyone, and stay safe.
Eugenia, thanks very much. We greatly appreciate the opportunity to educate your membership on our technology. And again, at the end of the day, look, we're just looking for good buildings that want to plug in, validate the benefit of it through a free trial, and we're just willing to show the validation of the technology and the benefits we could deliver. So again, I greatly appreciate the time and opportunity that everybody's provided to us today.
Jamie, I'd like to say thank you as well. This was very, very informative. I am very excited to see this technology coming into the United States, and we look forward to, what new things and, continued development of the Brainbox AI. And just wanted to share with you that as a organization, as I mentioned, with all different types of specialties, we do have membership available for organizations like yourself. And so, we can discuss that later and see if there's, any interest there. So just want to say that and thank you very much. And thank you for everyone else who's been participating. This is Tech in 30. And as Hugh mentioned earlier, we have some more series coming along, and I'm very excited about it. And I hope you all be able to participate in the future. If there's no other comments or questions, I believe we're done.
Thank you, Corin. Thanks, Jamie.
Thanks very much. Thanks very much, Corin, for organizing everything. Appreciate it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, guys. Appreciate your participation.
Thanks, Corwin.
All right. Take care, you guys.
Bye, everybody.
Stay safe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone. Bye, Carl.